Welcome, Valpo fans, to another edition of Valpo Basketball Weekly, brought to you by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute. I'm Aaron Levitt, joined for the first time this season by Valpo women's basketball head coach Mary Evans. Coach Evans, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Always an exciting time of the year. Basketball about to get underway for a lot of schools. You're not playing your first game till Sunday. We'll touch on that later. But just wanted to start off with your general thoughts on the team, the work they've put in this summer and fall, and how you kind of feel about the squad heading into the season.
Yeah, I think this team has done a tremendous job. We have quite a bit of experience returning, but we're trying to meld in 6 new players. And I think they spent a lot of time this summer being very intentional about developing the culture of the team and developing relationships with one another and our staff, which I think goes a long way once we get into the thick of the season. And I think, collectively, we spent most of the summer really focused on trying to be better, playing in transition. We think that this team's built to play a little bit faster, and we needed to be really good at our decision making when we're playing fast. So we spent most of the summer shooting the basketball like we always do, but also working on advantage situation stuff, and working a little bit on defensively, getting back to our principles of flying around, trying to make plays, trying to create havoc and get steals and win that turnover margin.
You mentioned the experience on the squad, a lot of collegiate experience. In fact, 6 players are either seniors or in their 5th year of college basketball. With all of that experience, how have you seen that group kind of take a step forward here in the summer and the preseason?
Yeah, I think that group collectively has taken a big step forward, leading and leading the team and developing. We talk as a team and develop our standards as a team every year. And I think they've done a good job developing those standards and holding each other accountable to those standards, and really stepped up in that way. Some of them didn't have the opportunity to do that last year, and I've seen a lot of growth in that area. And the other thing, I think they just have more experience. It was a group that last year might have had years in college, but didn't necessarily have minutes on the floor. And now we've got a lot of those kids with a lot more minutes on the floor, a lot more experiences to look back on, a lot more film to watch and grow from. And so, I've seen a real growth in all of them, with their individual skill. I think they've made a commitment to share the basketball and to really use our offense to get, take what's open, and not force things. And so we've spent a lot of time this summer working on that as well. And you're starting to see that click in practice, and you're seeing kids drive and help come and make the right decision, find the open player, and then that player make the right decision on what their job is to do with the basketball. And I think that's the biggest growth I've seen from our experienced players. And it's been huge because our new players are watching them, right? They're like children with really big eyes watching those upperclassmen and learning what's acceptable and what's not acceptable in the program, and they've done a great job leading in our summer practices and showing the right way to do things.
You kind of touched on this a little, but your class of newcomers, probably about the largest you've had in one class of newcomers in your time here at Valpo. Kind of the adjustment to, integrating a group that comprises half the roster, whereas before maybe you had a couple newcomers, maybe a little easier to integrate them into a large group of returners. What's it been like as a head coach trying to meld these two kind of halves into one whole?
Yeah, I think I'll go on and give credit with our upperclassmen. I think they've done a great job accepting them, off the court, on the court. We've tried to get them up to speed as quickly as possible. And obviously that's hard. They don't have those experiences that the kids have coming back. But I think they've done a fantastic job of asking great questions. I think the new players collectively, I think, have great basketball IQs. They ask great questions. They learn. They want to be in, getting extra film work in, understanding the whys of what we do, walking through possession after possession, talking through it, understanding what we liked and disliked about it. And I think that's been the thing that I've been most impressed by. But our upperclassmen have welcomed them with open arms. I think, they understand that this younger group and the new group brings a little bit more of a dynamic nature to our team. They're all very athletic. They can get up and down the floor very quickly. They can guard, very versatile. But anytime you have a new group of kids come in, it's just new energy, from a coaching staff. Like, we have to teach again. We haven't had to teach a lot the last couple of years because, you're teaching, but you're not going back to the basics and breaking things down from square one. So I think it's been a lot of breaking things down to square one, which I think is a benefit to our older kids too. They get to kind of go back to those foundational pieces. And I think it's helped everybody tremendously, and they've brought a lot of great energy to the program.
Fans obviously will recognize a lot of the faces on the court for you, but this large group of newcomers will be new faces for our fan base. So maybe highlight a few of them, what fans can expect from them, what kind of skills they bring to the table for this team.
Yeah, so I think I'll start with our grad transfer, Jill Harris. I think she's a point guard. And is a true definition of a point guard. She's a pass first kid who's trying to get other people involved. Very good shooter. She's made a lot of shots. Actually, at one point had broken one of our shooting drill records for the program. That was overtaken by Ella at some point this summer. So, she's a tremendous player, plays with a lot of poise. You never can tell if she's too high or too low. So we've been enjoying bringing her into the mix, and again, tremendous basketball IQ. Kid wants to coach after college, so she's picking things up really quickly. And then of the 5 freshmen, they're just all very different. I think, Raven Ray Redmond from Ohio is probably one of the fastest players that we've coached, and I'd say following her in that is the twins out of Fort Wayne, Sanaya and Nevaeh Jackson. They're both extremely athletic, fast, can defend. All 3 of those guys have been picking the ball up early for us defensively and trying to bother opponents' point guards, which I think is going to be something we haven't really been able to do since I've been here. And it's going to be nice to wear other people's point guards down. We've been able to work a little bit on some press. I don't know how much we'll use it, but we've worked a little bit on it with that group too. The twins, I think, add a real versatility. They're great passers. When they drive, they find people that I don't think we've seen people be able to make some of the passes that they can make. And they can shoot the ball really, really well. Layla Gold out of Indiana, obviously was North-South All-Star, is an extremely fundamental player, versatile, can shoot it. I'd say she's probably one of the better shooters on our team, catch and shoot. It's got some post-game moves around the basket when she's gotten mismatched, a good offensive and defensive rebounder. And then Kayla Preston that we got picked up late out of Nebraska is just a really long, bouncy post player, can get up and down the floor, guards around the rim, rebounds around the rim, can drive it to the basket the way we like. So I think, we've finally brought it kind of this class, and it has a lot of versatility. They can drive the basketball, they can shoot the basketball, they can pass the basketball. They've got great skill level mixed with athleticism. And so I'm excited for people to get to see them. And they also just have really great energy. They're fun to be around, and they're a joy to coach every single day.
Well, fans will have to wait a little longer to see them than maybe most other teams in the nation. Obviously, this past Monday was opening night for the 23-24 college basketball season. But your first game isn't until Sunday on the road, and then you don't play again after that until home in 2 Saturdays. Was that kind of deliberate on your part to kind of ease into the season scheduling wise?
The first part was not playing until the 12th was deliberate. I felt with the young team and with the addition of some pieces that might play right away, it was good to get film on Eastern Illinois so we could get a good scout in and not have to go in blind and have to rely on blind communication. And it's not going to be like a midseason scout, but we'll have some information on them and understand how we want to attack a little bit better than maybe we do on years where we start that first game and without a scout. The second part, not playing home until December, was a little snafu with scheduling and contracts and a miscommunication between a team and us. So we were supposed to have a game earlier in November that because of the miscommunication, we had to find an alternate date, and that date happened to be in December. So, starting late, definitely planned. Not having a home game until December, definitely not planned.
Well, the season opens up for the Valpo women's basketball team this Sunday, November 12th at Eastern Illinois. That game, 2 p.m., can be seen live on ESPN+. Coach Evans, thanks for joining me today. Good luck this season.
All right. Thanks, Aaron.
This has been Valpo Basketball Weekly, brought to you by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute.